documents are being presented to the court, Mr. Hager, on a negotiated basis. I've just received copies of post sentencing orders from the state, as you have observed. I assume copies have been provided to you and your counsel, is that correct? Have they had opportunity to review them?
Yes, I have.
You understand the terms of the negotiated dispositions?
Yes, I do.
Any questions in that regard?
No.
Have there been any threats made by anyone against you, any member of your family, or anyone near and dear to you, which compels you to enter pleas guilty to these charges? Are you presently under a doctor's care?
Yes.
And what is that for?
I have a LADAC and Pilsner. As part of my alternative offense.
Have you been treated for any mental health issues?
Just anger issues.
Take any medication or drugs on a regular basis?
Yes.
And what for?
Wellbutrin. It's for, I guess, anxiety. And just look at prescribing for it.
Have you taken any today?
Yes, I have. I take it every morning.
Do any mental health issues that you're treating for, categorized in that fashion, or any medication that you're taking?
When it came time for the CT scan, he became very combative. He told the police and the medical staff that they were not ready to learn what was in his brain, and that it would take them at least 20 years for them to be ready to understand what was inside his brain. He also indicated that he wanted to burn his brain. This was an indication to the staff that something else was going on. They attempted to get him secure so that he would, in fact, comply with the CT scan. During that time, he became combative, and that's when Officer O'Donnell was kicked in the left side of his face. Along with Officer O'Donnell, Officer Drendahl managed to get him secured on the gurney, at which time the defendant began spitting. They managed to try to get a surgical mask over his face in order to prevent him from getting a lot of blood in his mouth along with the saliva in an attempt to keep him from spitting on anyone. However, Officer O'Donnell was hit directly in the face and the left eye was displaced.
To the facts, but it certainly does not require any great insight into things to see that there were mental health issues going on, which I think to some degree, while the conduct is as absolutely regrettable as we all agree, I think to some degree removes the element of scienter from things when someone is frantically struggling against who knows what demons on a hospital gurney. The conduct, I think, becomes more pardonable than it would otherwise be. I agree completely with Attorney Pierce that at this point where someone is at the stage in their recovery that Mr. Hager obviously is, to simply re-incarcerate him for the conduct of that night with all of its attendant circumstances would be counterproductive in every regard. So I think that the proposed sentence makes perfect sense. As I said, I had the opportunity to speak with my father this morning. Mr. Hager is doing what I think everyone would have him do, and doing it with his whole heart. So I would urge the court to accept the negotiated disposition.
So would the Department. To be shared with Officer O'Donnell for the sole purpose of knowing the extent, if any, of exposure. You understand the terms of the sentence being imposed upon you in this matter? I will just tell you as a matter, Mr. Hager, that if you find yourself back before the court because of any further criminal conduct, this consequence will be substantially different than what has happened today. Court wishes you luck.
Thank you.
Sherry Whitworth. Attorney Webb.